Battle for Goose Green. United Kingdom versus Argentina. After the landings at San Carlos waters, the British forces prepared to move inland on Falkland Island. A critical first step in taking back the island was to seize the Argentinian air base at Goose Green. The base had been used to launch airstrike against the British fleet. The threat had to be eliminated. The British 2nd Para Battalion led the assault on Hill 127 and the town of Darwin. Defending the base was the 12th Infantry Battalion of the Argentinian Army. Yeah, I think green and red are sort of armies that you can sort of custom, so they're not limited to any specific nationality. So if there's not that nationality and their armed forces represented, you can sort of make an approximation of what they should have. We have decent artillery sections. A lot of high explosive and a little bit of smoke. Lengthy infantry battle, that's what it looks like. Okay, what is an UK infantry squad? There's not a lot of men. 8 is still okay. We have an effective combat range of 10. Can destroy vehicles from 15, but you're unlikely to hit at that range. But you can at least try. So the infantry squads are fine. They can take on any target used properly. We have engineers, so are we expecting minefields? Effective combat range of 10. That's wonderful. Flamethrowers, satchel charges. And anti-tank missile teams. Different capabilities. Some can fire twice, some can fire once a turn. Some machine guns, and then the artillery. So yeah, it's pretty much an infantry swarm taking over positions from the green. 3 hills and the airbase. Okay. Sure what I can really do except get moving. 18 turns, no vehicles, so this is gonna take some time. We need to move fairly quickly, I'd say. And squad is this one. Their infantry squads seem to be pretty similar to my own, so I don't think there's any kind of advantage one way or another. I have no idea what the Argentinians actually have in this. I doubt they have a huge amount of vehicles in other parts. But we have a surprising amount of anti-tank teams, so I don't know. Squad is here not on his own, so I guess it's routed now. Can I reveal the other squads? I don't particularly want to fire too much because I know it's not really our only concern here. Like to save as many shots as possible. We do have a respectable amount of smoke, so technically we could just dump smoke everywhere to act as cover. I'm not sure if that's a great idea though. Not sure if we even want to move. Probably yes. I'm guessing the airfield is where it's the most likely that they have some kind of vehicles present, so we can't exactly just stick around here with our anti-tank teams. We can't get them closer to the airfield, they're gonna be worthless anyway. Not sure what we could bombard something, but I'm not sure what. This hill is pretty much the likeliest thing we could fire upon now, and maybe get some results. Thing is, not sure what should we fire on something specific or just. Yeah, it will take a couple of turns for us to even reach there, so possible decisions. We can shift them around a little bit. Artillery itself should be fairly accurate and effective if there are units there. There are units that are within firing range. I'd like them to react to me shooting. No such luck. There we go. Now we can die happy. In earthen bunkers? Oh, that's tough. I did not expect pillboxes. Not sure why though. Could be a good reason to put some smoke there, but we'll see. Now the question becomes, what are we gonna do about it? The usual thing I've been doing is blind it with smoke and move around it. Not sure how much of an option that is now. If I also start shooting at the dug-in hostiles here, we're gonna get slaughtered. Maybe a lot. Ooh, why we have the anti-tank teams in it. Right. The Milan teams have to be the ones that move last, because if we stumble upon bunkers and things like that, they're pretty much the only one who can realistically do anything. The artillery is gonna hit more or less just fine as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure if I want to go too close there yet. Also, fuck. Can we have any kind of realistic suppression fire there? Don't think so. Problem being, if anyone fires on those guys there, they're definitely gonna start firing back. I don't know if I can afford it right now. Right, it'll suffice for now. They can still fire on us. However, it's not gonna be quite that bad for now. Much more interested in what's gonna happen here. We should be seeing some action, but I see nothing. It has to be protected. Dug-in troops, all of that jazz. We probably should harass the retreating riflemen. There's a good chance they will not actually retreat anywhere. I'm thinking we shouldn't be moving anti-tank guys. At the same time, I think we should be moving anti-tank guys. If these, it's because of the time limit. If we basically don't move these with the attacking force, we might not have time to move them where we really need them. And it seems like we're also getting them in multiple waves, at least in 2. So if we are gonna lose an initial wave, there's still some backup arriving later on. We could fire on these guys from here. Might not be a horrible idea. Retreating machine gun. That's rare to see. Usually dug-in troops don't really do much maneuvering. Another machine gun left its place. That's pinned down and didn't really have to do much to get that far. This is good. Maybe I suppressed that probably well enough from here. Except I'm not hitting anywhere near it. Did we even get it to retreating? We might have to move the artillery where it strikes around a little bit. We're getting awfully close to it. That's a little bit blind firing there. I think it'll be fine though. Okay, I don't think they're literally on the flags again defending. They're somewhere close by rather. We'll see. What do you see? You see a retreating machine gun, which is nice, but there should be more. Excellent. A little bit too close for comfort, but I don't think we have good positions. Yeah, just start shooting. Got lucky there that we actually got a kill on the third shot. I need routed. Retreating is not good. I'll do it. I'm still sparing my shots or saving my shots because I suspect that there are more enemies there. So I would rather have the return fire, or at least a chance of return fire, than spend all my shots. Very skeptical about not encountering resistance yet. We probably should move most of the force through there. Although again, I'm not sure how much of a luxury on that front do I have. We would like to hit the city on both sides approximately the same time. What we want to avoid is sprinkling our troops all over the place. That'll work if there's no serious resistance to be made. However, if there is, and we lose a couple of squads on an attack front, it'll basically stop them in there. I always need some backups. Little action here. Hopefully you losers are actually going to return fire when shit gets real. I've been thinking of holding back a little bit because the earthen bunker here is not gonna be the only earthen bunker there is here. Still, we'll spread about a little bit. We're packing things a little bit too tight. We're gonna get massive casualties someone shoots here. If we get a single kill on that group, it'll stop the fire. Two squads lost. There we go. Now it starts. At least there is reaction fire, so we're causing enough suppression that we aren't gonna be horribly slaughtered, but it's still gonna be a little bit painful. Also need to decide what exactly do we really want to bombard now. Do we even want to bombard something? Not so sure we do. They're done. Still nothing. Alright, that was the two infantry squads that was guarding this entrance. Okay, what else? There's another command squad that's barely combat worthy anymore. So it would be great if we don't have to really do all that much with it, but It's on the front line now, so it is what it is. Please just spot the enemy. It's not exactly totally random if you're gonna spot things or not, but there's a dice roll involved, so if you can get very unlucky with your spotting, I suppose. I doubt it's the case here. Dug-in infantry is pretty hard to spot unless they start firing at you. And at that point you're gonna eat some casualties no matter what. This is bad. If this guy, it's fairly large. Oh fuck! Don't retreat. Don't. The entire point is to get to that one. It's going to be fully operational soon. If I don't do something about it now, it's going to be a big pain in the ass. And it retreated into the fire, so yeah, it's not going to be functioning all that well. Ooh, that's another one. Yeah, I'm going to try to kill these off a little bit. Simply because I can't deal with a huge amount of these retreating units suddenly deciding that they might want to start fighting at a later time. Hopefully we can suppress this machine gun enough that someone can go closer and cause some casualties. Yeah, it's retreating. Probably good enough. Maybe not good enough on its own, but we more or less wiped out a couple of squads there, so morale isn't gonna be super high on them. We also need to make moves simply because we're taking a lot of casualties now from the bombardment. Okay, I can't deal with that right now. He's probably not gonna abandon his positions just to come after me, so the fact that I have 0 shots isn't gonna mean much. Just spread about a little bit. I don't know if I can do it. Artillery is starting to be a little bit too big of a problem. Yeah, here the casualties can be quite high if I don't do something. At the same time, I think it might be better to try to push through quickly. But I don't see how that's gonna work out. It simply won't, because they can shift the artillery fire much faster than I can move my troops through this area. I'll spread the units about as best as I can, but it's not gonna matter too much. That's pretty much it. Where are we firing? Nowhere. Which is fine. Can I see? We could fire on the airfield. How many shots do we have? We fire maybe around 3 rounds per gun, so we can fire about 11 times still. More or less, pretty much continuously. Not quite, but close enough. We could fire on the buildings, I suppose. It'll just take so long to arrive at this point. I'm not sure if that's really worth it. Even a blind fire on this side. Nah, I'll screw it. It would help, but let's see if we can do without it. Gunfire smoke. Any indication that they might have artillery actually on the map? That I can see. They probably would still have mortars at the very least. Bunker number 2. That it hasn't fired yet. Okay, we need to do something about... Okay, let's start with the machine guns. They're nice, but they're ultimately not that important. So if they get shot up a little bit, I'll find that. Once the infantry is suppressed, we can use the inland teams to take out the bunker. Yep, not if I have that luxury anymore. They started firing. Someone's going to have to go there and take the hits. Go. Okay. I think we suppressed these guys enough. So yeah, maybe take down the Mr. Bunker. Someone who's not close to it, so it can't really do return fire. Hello, Mr. Bunker. How many missiles do these guys have? Yeah, this is the last warhead of this guy. I'm not sure if we should spread things around. I mean, who gets to fire? I'm guessing it's a good idea, because there's no telling which infantry squads we're gonna lose to ambushes and bombardment. So it would be nice if we could try to save up shots with as many as we can until it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not sure if it's gonna work like that for us. Oh, that's a bit too close. That's a bit too close for comfort. We could, if it's only a single bunker, we could definitely try to just smoke it. Oh, fuck it, just take the shot. Oh, we've had quite a lot of luck with this group. Yes. Used up all their Milan shots, but also taken down 2 bunkers. Gotta be happy with that. This squad will never move again. So fire as much as you possibly can. Where to go? We need to do something about these 2 squads, but do these guys really have to do anything? No, I don't think we technically do. Just whip them a little bit. Still, actual casualties matter, as in groups lost, not the men lost. Two squads less. That'll help. The machine gun is only pinned. Pinned is not good enough. Yeah, I think I said it's a terrible idea to pack these squads on top of each other, but I still think it's safer to go on top of each other in a building than it is to stay in the open at this point, because of the artillery constantly raining on us. Okay, we have 2 targets. Hint guy first. Press it, please. Not sure how we should do this. We're just gonna go for the flags without thinking about it too much. What to do here though? The smoke is not gonna last long, and if the Argentinian rifle squad gets to fire at us at this distance, it's death. So we need to get rid of it though. The group Heading from the south has a reasonable distance, so it might be able to fire on it from a fairly long distance. I'm not sure if we want to wait for that. The thing is, there's anti-tank groups and like 2 infantry groups here, so these guys getting through him, not all that likely. Not impossible either, though, by any means. More rifle squads. Yeah. Revealing the rifle squad was a wonderful thing, though. Wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm not sure if it's enough. Right, we can easily suppress that one, so I think it's the best idea to cover our own ass for now. Use these to go closer and wrap things up. But for now, covering your own ass is the most important thing to do. Not sure if we could take down another bunker if it appears somewhere here. We're getting a bit too close. At the same time, what options do I have? None, really. I'll leave one anti-tank unit here to do whatever. Minor suppression fire. He would not have fired the Milan. There's no high explosive on this round. Just armor piercing. That it? Well, technically we could call artillery. I sort of think this might be a worthwhile target to call it. We're not going to reach it with any significant amount of troops anytime soon. It'll take at least, let's say, 3 turns. So there's plenty of time to have a firing artillery section fire on it. The end result is probably not too pretty, though. It could cause serious problems for us too. At the same time, I don't particularly care. Yeah, just a single firing. That should do it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Still, we're already 1/3 into the mission. We haven't actually achieved all that much, so this is a bit of a problem. But yeah. Let's start with the important groups. Ones that I'm so eager to throw away at every turn. Long range suppression. And see shit. Okay, everything worked more or less fine. Retreating machine gun, that's something that we actually do have to fire upon. Ready, that's no good. Oh, this is gonna be bad for us. Oh. Very bad indeed. We're gonna have to eat a lot of casualties to get rid of it, but someone's gonna have to keep shooting. Good hit. Spurs, excellent. Yeah, artillery is arriving here, so we don't want to get too close, but we do need to get moving. Survivors disperse. I'm making a very fundamental mistake with how I'm attacking. I'm using my lead squads as the, well, first squads to go in. The ones we should never sacrifice. They really should be just held back for now. Still, what's done is done. It's important in a situation where you don't have a massive army of full condition troops and you need a little bit of extra push to get things moving again. Then the lead squads are very, very, very valuable. Right, looks like the fighting on this particular hill is pretty much over. Not sure if we should stick our nose there. I mean, there's artillery landing soon anyway. So it could be pretty bad even if we stay here. Want to get a little bit closer, it could be absolutely catastrophic. And now you have no targets. Interesting. And the smoke will clear soon, so we don't want to be anywhere near where that rifle squad can fire. I think that's more or less it. I need to recheck where exactly is our artillery landing. Yeah, it's uncomfortably close, but I'm willing to take that risk. We'll definitely have to shift it or stop it immediately after this. Cancel, 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 cancel. I think we're probably going to get what we want out of that. Also, we're reaching the halfway point of the mission, and we are not going to reach all the necessary targets unless we use the road. There's just no way. It's a pin squad, it might shoot back. Didn't. Disperse. Ready squad. This is bad. If we would not have gotten those kills, we would have basically lost our own infantry squad. I don't think there are too many of these squads that have been driven off here. There aren't that many dug in holes for them. Yeah, I think the defender there was basically driven out by the bombardment, so we didn't have to sacrifice any units to get it. Excellent. You're routed, so we can finish you up. Survivors disperse. Right, that worked fairly well. Very, very well, in fact. I'm pleased. There's no notable resistance here, though. Now speed is of the essence. We are, as I said, reaching halfway point of the mission, and we are nowhere near the halfway point of the map. We need to get results very quickly once we go beyond a certain point. So, now's the time to focus on speed. I need to get units, any kind of pair of eyes on that hill. I need to probably start bombarding it. Even blind fire will probably be sufficient. I need someone to climb it and start spotting the airfield for the artillery. I don't care about unit stacking at this point, speed is everything. Hopefully we can get enough Milan teams to the airfield. Bunkers here, I would say vehicles near the airfield. Probably not that many, but a few tanks would be very tough to take down with just the infantry. Not impossible, but it would be troublesome to produce the needed amount of smoke at the correct places to get the job done. Don't be pinned down, move. You're pinned down. Why are you pinned down? Probably too many casualties. So it's not gonna ever, it's gonna move ever. We could go for blind artillery. It's rarely very effective, but I'm expecting a bunker or two here too. Number of shots is not a concern. We'd also... I'm not sure what it would be worth, because we might be able to drive someone out of their dug-in positions, but we're nowhere near to take advantage of such a opening, so I'm again not sure how useful that could be. Holy shit, we see an enemy. Someone else can take it. Also, everyone needs to burn forward constantly, and no time to hesitate or go after some... Ooh, that's a nice one. Stragglers. No time to go after stragglers, I'd like to say, but if we can move our full distance and still shoot at these guys, I'll take it. What the hell do we see? Right, everyone sees the same squad. Again, move. This is not necessarily groups that are taking down flags or target. This is something that I can get the artillery to start firing accurately at the next set of targets. So I need a pair of eyes there. It doesn't matter. Any kind of command squad is probably good enough. Which again increases the value of command squad, which I have sort of wasted by fighting pointless minor fights. F squad. At least I could get the spotted artillery on these areas. You probably won't achieve much, but there's always the buts, and we can afford the shots, so there's no worry on that front. Should I leave units behind? It's always a tough call. The thing is, if something happens here unexpectedly, there's nothing, absolutely nothing I can do about it. I don't just leave something behind. Same here. It could be a machine gun. There hasn't been any indication that there even could be some kind of a straggler unit behind here. But you never know. I doubt a single infantry unit is that important that it would decide a fight later on. Unless it's here and it's defending the flags against a straggler trying to retake things, then it could do it. Again, this one will not be able to move, so it also can't function as a defending unit. We have two here that could do it, I guess. I think I'll leave this one. Leave it in a building somewhere. It will definitely react to anyone coming to this, and it's in such a protected area that it will certainly win against any individual enemy unit. Let it escape. If it goes in that forest, I'll never find it again. Survivors disperse. This squad will likely die, but it'll also reveal the first locations of their defenses, so it's acceptable. The road is probably not the safest place to travel in general, but we're now at the halfway point, and we're not even at the halfway point of the map. I'm hoping that the heaviest infantry fights are behind us, but I think that's because we can at this point start concentrating our forces. All the infantry that went after 2 targets can be concentrated to push over at the single target. But I still think taking these 4 flags is gonna take time. What is that smoke? I haven't fired it here yet, so that's probably mortars, that sort of stuff. Right, we do actually need to and you need to reach a road as fast as possible. Right, I don't think these guys will ever have the time to reach a goddamn thing. You either stick to the road or you don't have the time. At the same time, not everyone can stick to the road, so you need to break your squads apart enough that you have men to send to each location. We'll see. I might be able to make faster progress since I'm not now using the road. So it probably isn't gonna take 9 turns to reach the airfield. Although it's still going to be very close to that. So if they can fight me off for, let's say, 3 turns, I don't think I can get their last remaining flags anymore. 38. Still keep sparring on this unit though, their artillery, for reasons. Right, we're gonna make a hole here. Cover the flags. Still not seeing anything useful. Thinking the artillery is okay to land here for another turn. I'm contemplating smoke, because that would allow a group of units to move through this, while the later squads would still have enough time easily to take care of things. We can't afford to do this all that often though, so these shots need to matter. Trying to move them maybe a little bit further away anyhow. Goal after all is to prevent them from seeing on the road, more or less. That would be sufficient. There'll also be using as much smoke as we can. Don't stay pinned. Stay up. We have a command squad here that's not gonna move anywhere anymore. This is much more a race against time than I thought initially. And I think that's gonna bite me in the ass pretty badly. Thought I had more time than I actually do. Still, we'll see how is it good enough. I can probably take the 3 heals, maybe not the airfield itself. And that's more or less it. Infantry squad, Milan squad annihilated. Alright, the smoke is thick enough that I think we can move past this. Without a doubt, they'll have infantry squads still ambushing the road no matter what we do with the smoke itself. But I'm hoping this will at least reduce the number of enemy fire we'll have to deal with, so things like bunkers are unlikely to be fired. I suppose we could also get lucky that we'll get a few extra turns on this mission, but wouldn't want to rely on that too much. Might not be a horrible idea to dump some smoke if you have it. No, we only have 2. They're not wasted. Artillery on this section is gonna be absolutely devastating. Not much I can do about it though. I just can't afford not using my best speed. If I try to do something like that, hold back even a little bit, I'm guaranteed to lose it. Are we artillerying something? We are putting more smoke there. Not sure I want that. We have the ammunition. The thing is, we might have to replenish the smoke field soon anyway, so better give it a little bit of a rest. Could keep bombarding if we don't have better things to do. Don't really see a downside to it. It's a bit of blind firing at the moment, but that hardly matters. Blind fire is better than nothing. I 'd 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 'dd 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 2/3 done, and we just crossed the halfway point pretty much. Not looking good. It's pretty much impossible for me to think that they couldn't put up a fight for a couple of turns, because you don't need much for that. A couple of machine gun positions, artillery pieces, anything can do it. So this needed to be a swarming mission, basically. Us over, well, maybe starting from the rear of the unit stacks and moving them forward, trying to get as much as possible done with them. And then moving as much as possible with the forward groups. Maybe even ignoring the initial fighting targets with the forward groups entirely. Leave the second wave to deal with those. Things like that. That's what we should have done. I guess I've gotten very used to having vehicles in these missions when we have to move infantry around. It just makes things so much convenient that it stops being consideration. Consideration how much an infantry unit can travel in a specific amount of turns. Now I'm in a situation where I miscalculated and we're gonna lose because of that. Well, it's a marginal something very likely. We killed some stuff, we captured some stuff, we just didn't get everything. So I'm not sure how we could not possibly neutralize the airfield if we can already bombard it with artillery. Might not be able to take control of it, but it's certainly not gonna bombard on us. So what are we doing? Yeah, now our infantry is getting here, so I think we could reduce the replenishment on the smoke. We don't have a huge amount of smoke ammunition, so it's gonna be pretty much fast. I suppose we could just use smoke ammo on these, but that seems like a thing we don't want to really do. Yeah, 5 turns to reach that. 1, 2. No, 8 would be more realistic, and that's for the forward troops. So yeah, this is not gonna work. Well, we can take the hill at least, so that's something. Maybe. And maybe take the hill. I'll take a couple of turns even to get closer to that. So yeah. Massive miscalculation on my part. Ooh, this bunker. Isn't that nice? It can't fire on me. There could be infantry squads here that can easily do it though. Also, thanks to the smoke, the Milan squads are pretty much worthless. Not really a big concern for me though. Progress of the infantry line would have been a much bigger problem. And that bunker is pretty much at a perfect place to be able to do something like that. I suppose we could position some Milan teams in a way that they might be able to shoot it. That's the second the smoke clears in a little bit. And it's pretty much in a direct line here, for example. So yeah. And I don't see these squads being able to do all that much anywhere else in the line. So 3 squads should be able to do it. There's something there to do. Right. So this is more or less the point where we start praying that we'll get extra turns on this mission. Otherwise this is gonna just suck. And I'm not sure if I want to fire more smoke here. We should definitely fire something on top of them though. Right. Maybe start bombarding the airfield. There's dug-in positions very likely. We could try to shoot at the buildings. It's blind fire, but don't really see why we shouldn't shoot at them, I suppose. We're gonna have to move past them to go for the flags. So even if I would shoot a smoke green behind it to block us from any defenders at the edge, or here, I would still have to go through the hangars no matter what. There we go. Suppression fire against target that can't fire at you. That is the classic thing to do. Now on the next turn, we can probably shoot at the earthen bunker. Right. I don't think this is gonna be a very exciting mission at the end. Basically because there's nothing happening now, and we don't have time to move the positions where things might start happening. So it's us rushing to, in the end, do nothing. Maybe. I do need to leave some troops here to fight things out. Not the lead troops. They're already struggling to make any kind of a possible positive move here. So... And even in the best case scenario, we are expecting some resistance there after all, so yeah. Still, if we commit troops here, we can at least guarantee success on the hill here. If we don't, we might end up getting nothing. Not these and not the airfield. Yeah, thanks for the support, guys. I'm afraid that there's an infantry squad here that will ruin everything. Oh, not yet. But we need to get to its rear. There's a massively weaker armor there. Right. Yep. Yep. It went up with our smoke. Single shot. No, let's not be hasty here. There are targets that others might be able to fire upon. Also, the artillery has been very effective here. 4 men at least lost. No, 3 men lost from that group. Alright. There's a bit of a problem. What exactly can you fire upon? They can also just fire on the bunker. That's not useful. Oh shit. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the cover fire. Looks like I'm going to have to drop the smoke there. Right. Leaving the Milan teams here. Need to guarantee multiple ways to take out that bunker. This could actually shoot at the bunker. It won't hit now because it's moved so much, but it's another option we might be able to use. An HQ unit. That's a somewhat risky thing to move here. Right, you need to save your own ass. Otherwise you're dead. Is that a horrible thing? It is. Don't retreat. No matter what you do, don't retreat. Retreat is death. Fire again if you can. You cannot. Right, he's dead. Don't understand why can't you fire again. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, dude. There's any suppression fire on the bunker. At least the missiles might actually destroy it. I don't think I've ever seen the anti-tank weapon hit more than like two hexes. Right, take it down. You see multiple bunkers now. Yeah, if I shoot, not only will I not destroy it, the counterfire will absolutely annihilate everything here. Okay. This is something we'll have to think about again. The artillery on the hangars was pretty pointless though. They're not just gonna be destroyed by it. I'm not sure if there's even any troops there. But it's too late to shift it here. We need to put in troops there. Right, what can we go after? We can push through here. The smoke here will protect us for some time. Right, we can probably... These squads can take on the bunker. No, they must. Can't anyone actually shoot there? No. Fuck. Why are you shooting at it? Ah, now they destroyed. Of course. Ah, right. We should still be moving toward these, but they're so far away, there's no goddamn way in hell we can go there in 3 turns. And you can see something. So we basically have a single squad that might be moving over there. Ooh. Can you do suppression fire? Yes. Even if they fire back, that's actually okay, because the distance is so long they really can't do serious casualties. Could be worthwhile to fire as much smoke here as possible, because the artillery is not gonna save us, but the smoke screen, effective enough, could probably provide a path for us to go and try to take things. You move forward with everything you have, because it's a command unit and it can effectively spot if we, or when we run into trouble. What do you see? Say something besides the bunker. Okay, their defenses are at least crumbling. We can without doubt take these flags. We have enough troops here, maybe even not even time to do it. Still, quite a few troops here have to move forward. I'm not abandoning the aircraft airfield yet. It's unlikely we can get it, and I'm risking getting the heal too by doing this, but I think it's worth the risk. Or not. Right, there aren't that many squads we can send there, so we're gonna send everything we can. The rest of you losers, take the field. I mean, take the hill. Even Milan teams could be useful here. I mean, they're still after all a bunker there. And they do have a assault rifle as a support weapon. It's not going to be that effective because there's only 2 guys in the group, but it can still do some damage. Okay, anything worth bombarding? I think I'm gonna keep firing here, maybe spreading these out a little bit. That way I can react to whatever our units actually spot in these areas. We are definitely moving them toward the flags though, because we don't particularly care too much what's not nowhere near the flag itself. Want to secure the flags. So preferably a couple of targets that can fire smoke ammunition would be preferable there too. I doubt they can cause too many casualties on us. Right, the infantry squad can cause trouble, sure. And that infantry squad. It's not gonna shoot anything anymore. Right. Our goal is to more or less to get on this hill in 2 turns. Yeah, that's it's gonna be a tough ride. Okay, what exactly do we want to do, and who's gonna do it in what order? I think I need to nail these guys down. Who shot at them? You. No? Well, someone has to see them. This is good enough. I don't need to get any kills, I need suppression. Kills are positive. Holy shit. The defensive line. Yeah, we need to shift as much firepower there as possible. Can you do it? Yes. Now is the time to do. Oh, okay. All of our artillery is sort of cancelled, I guess. Or not. I'm sort of banking on everything pretty much being here as far as their defensive lines are concerned. It's gonna take a huge amount of time to shift this. Might have been almost better to just retarget it directly here. I don't see us being able to smoke through these guys, no matter what. They're just infantry squad in a perfect position, so it's... what the hell happened there? I guess it's been moved so much that it basically said, yeah, it's gonna take a full turn. Which is okay, I guess. Not something I expected it. 12 hexes. What's our maximum range? 12 hexes. I'll start firing. Might not exactly result in anything, but it's better than waiting. Yeah, wasn't that exciting. Might as well fire, even though we have, yep, low chance of success. Immediate success. Routed. This fight is over. I mean the fight for the hill. There's still an enemy infantry squad here, without a doubt, but that's not gonna be a problem for the squads already going in there. Yeah, it's pinned anyway, and now it's gone. Right, so there's nothing here anymore. Everything that can be thrown at the airfield needs to be thrown at the airfield. How far away are we? Yeah, we can start attacking them on the next turn with our long-range capabilities. It's not going to be all that effective, but at least we can do it. Few squads here certainly have enough time to take these hills. Not a huge amount of time, but enough. We can get quite a few within firing this range of these. So if we can extend this for a couple of turns, I think there's a chance. So it's not much. This is definitely a doable mission, just not in the way I did it. Time is your real enemy, not the actual enemy you need to kill. And fire upon someone? Yes. Might be... ooh, don't fire on them. I might be able to get some of the medium machine guns positioned here to offer suppression fire. I don't want to waste shots on fleeing enemies. Okay. This gets interesting. 18 turns isn't quite enough, but it's not far away. They can do return, but yeah, that guy's without doubt dead. Please don't fire smoke. Just die away. Right. Yeah, going through the wilderness areas like maybe 2 turns slower, and it's exactly the amount of that we could not really stand to lose. I'll need to move these later, but first I need units in position here. I need anything that can move within attack firing distance of these to actually do it. Retreating unit is a problem, it needs to be routed. I can't ignore that. Still need to actually get the flags here. I think there is no real resistance waiting for us there. I don't actually know it, so better not start celebrating too quickly. Now that I know what we are up against here, I would have definitely played differently. And I'm not really even, don't mean the length of the map we have to travel. I mean, there's way too many anti-tank teams compared to the targets we have to shoot at. It's mortar. I don't think I can ignore it, because it is not going to ignore me. I don't need to kill it though. Right. Everything's more or less landing where I want it to land. I was hoping I might be able to provide more suppression fire before I need to move these guys, but no. Not within range. Fire with everything you've got. Hope for lucky shots. That's lucky shot. Retreating and ready. Excellent. These are not all the enemies that are gonna be here though, I know that. I haven't seen their HQ, for example. However, we can hardly hold our shots at this point. We need to get everything we can out of these guys. Routed is good enough. Right. Still, I think we should go for maximum casualties. Survivors disperse. Didn't expect such a good fortune for us. Right. We might want to shift to smoke with the artillery fire. It's not coming at a bad location though. Smoke would be to cover these, so they can't, and anything around here, so we would more or less try to pocket the green flags here. There might be some resistance there still, but that would be minor. Still, we only have one turn left and we don't have the mobility to reach the flags. There's no getting around that. It just isn't there. Right. So close. Still, almost wins don't really count. Probably the best position we can to do fire from, so shift what artillery we can to fire on these locations and hope for maybe something that'll come our way there. Right. I'm not sure smoke is gonna work for us though, because we are relying heavily on our ability to just suppress the shit out of any enemy that might still be here. Smoke will totally prevent us from doing that. Blocking everything on the left side of these flags, on the other hand, might not be a horrible idea. I mean, we have literally no reason to go there. So if they have anything there, they can keep it. Maybe shift this a little bit. Try to circle the plastic thing. I mean, there could be things still here, and again, that's another thing that I don't particularly care about. What is this? We'll do this in reverse order. More or less padding statistics at this point, though. That's all that matters. Still, it makes a little bit of difference. So the end result becomes a little bit more marginal. Still, I don't really recall wasting too much time on this. I pretty much ran through the entire section on the south, for example. I don't really recall holding back at any point. I'm mainly just pointing out that there really isn't all that much extra time for you to do shit here. It just isn't there. I basically just didn't run here with the correct troops. That's the problem. So the troops I kept constantly running in this direction just didn't have the ability then to reach here. And it's close. It is really, really close. I don't need extra artillery or mortars to screw the infantry slow moving towards the remaining flag. They're dead. We have flamethrowers and light, so they can't survive this. Right. Everything thrown against the final flags. Might not really account for anything. Maybe you could have played this, or rather gamed this. Right, retaking a single flag every turn in an effort to try to extend the game. Like constantly something's happening on the combat turns, things like that. I'm not sure if you can game the system like that. I would have been interested in trying to find out. Still, it's probably a marginal something. Certainly isn't a draw. Well, sometimes draws are weird things though. Like, situations where you can't possibly imagine it being a draw, it's a draw as far as the game is concerned. Yeah, they're certainly screwing me over still. And this is the biggest problem I suppose I have with this. You still need to fight here. So even if you would throw your units here, you would more or less would have to make sure that the lead units, through some miracle, don't have to stop and fight anywhere. Which is something that basically never happens. So I'm not clear on how you're supposed to make that work. But somehow you're just supposed to do it, I guess. We should be within range. Fire with everything you've got. Don't need to kill anything, but it's just suppress it well enough. There. It's not going to be useful for the rest of the fight. That's not enough. That is not enough. And we're pinned. A little bit of a good old-fashioned rallying could still win us this. Not sure if I should shoot that squad. I certainly can't afford this one to turn around and do something. Their HQ unit is still somewhere. So, yeah. Well, at least something's happening. I skilled a few extra squads again. But is it enough? certainly thinks it might be, since it extended things to 19 turns. I think we're increasingly on thinner ice here. Yep, 2 extra turns. And we're already on an extra turn, so 3 extra turns really. And then you might be able to do it. And you absolutely need the road to do it. The road provides 1 or 2 extra hexes you can move per turn. It has to be the road. There's no substitute for the road. Still, it is what it is. I don't think I've run out of time in a long time though. Is the smoke? Would the smoke do us any favors here? I'm not sure it would, but might as well let the artillery land where it lands. Turn 20. Okay. Pretty much a free-for-all for the flag at this point. Okay, so I need to check the artillery. I don't think there's any good points for us to shoot at anymore. Alright, we've more or less just covered it in smoke. Yeah, I don't think we're really firing anything useful. Just cut it. Technically this pavement isn't pavement, it's just wilderness of some sort. So this is not a route that you can quickly travel through. Now we're within striking distance of the first flag, but we are really extending this mission now. We're definitely in the territory where it could end at any second, and I wouldn't be surprised. Right, we could take a flag or 2. That's definitely extend a bit. We'll extend over here. Now we don't know if there's anything defending those remaining flags. It could be. If there is, then we might not be able to take anything, because even a minor suppression at this point is basically game over for us. I'm not sure how this would work in the real world. I mean, is it that tight of a times table that unless you get it by that exact second, it's a total failure? This would be the enemy successfully delayed the assault, maybe for a few hours. Still, nothing happened on this turn, so and it keeps going. Now it's on turn 21. Turn 21 out of 20, so I think this is pretty much the extent of it. There's not going to be another turn. Make it count. We have to think about which order do we want to use to move the units close to the flags. The furthest away needs to move first. That's basically the rule here, because we might encounter trouble. These 3 units might be able to take the flags. How's the smoke? Yeah, it's pretty much going in blind, so if there are defenders there, I could not possibly see them anyway. Either I'm just gonna walk right on top of them, or I'm gonna take flags. There's no real way there. Yeah, we got 2 flags. Might be able to get a 3rd one thanks to that. Yay! Yeah, just pile more troops here. They could have something there still. certainly going to try to retake flags. I mean, where's their headquarters unit, for example? So they must have at least one squad there still. The smoke might have actually been enough to save our ass. So there was nothing really for them to suppress because no one can see shit. It's a moderate victory, I'd say. They lost 10 artillery, 260 men, we lost about 100 men. I'm not sure how this could go all that much better because of the hurry you have to reaching these. Marginal victory, right. Not a fan of these massive infantry missions that are also long lasting anyway. I suppose if you know beforehand who has what units, it might be a little bit more tolerable to play. But it's always a guessing game what each side will have, and you don't have the luxury of trying to scout things or anything. You just have to sort of throw everything forward and hope things just happen to go your way.